for Dana da wokɔ de wotie hin na so yɛda Nyankopɔn ase da wahwɛ yɛn de wakura yɛn do ma na so yɛabɛka nsa ɛbere wɔte yɛn ka asɔre wɔ Brabadze Koforidua Church of Christ Brabadze Koforidua Nyesin what is the name of this place? Anyway, Zinu Baba ma join. Kauye fie ewusi krom da membia ni hina Church of Christ. You preach to them environment no. Yɛde nkyia yɛde ma obi biara na I believe the obi biara no ho yie titiri enuanom a da na da wokɔdo wotie hɛn no I trust and I believe the obi biara no ho yie ɛwɔ hɔ titiri yɛ enuanom a owura na owura yɛ a wɔbɛsɛ kurom da na da wokɔdo wotie hɛn no Mr. and Mrs. Adai efi yɛ wɔ happy excuse me That will be done enterprise no so wɔ Abra School Academy hɔ. In your academy school junction, young quantity will be a debit. Echo into academy school junction, where about few distance from one school junction. We're gonna watch show. So be a watch show that will be done enterprise so ho and American Echo Koto BBR or ho and I mean I'll do range from the ban fee I mean the may provisions that may work and in a baby at affordable and competitive prices ever ho. On the nature, I mean, coffee be bring I would say hen. For some reason, the minimum one is into the muffin in ara. Yadin chia as a man, the other one as the Dana Dao do say, but they go for Rudia, Church of Christ, and name by Brother Shiano Elho. Yes, started over 1 year and to be a while. Baby, I be Bodruno, maybe we be seen fin and say, on Shadan, maybe I say, oh, opportunity in there, maybe after the program, no, ever friend, wherever you are, able to me about now you have a pencil, Bible, no more. And yeah, praise the Lord, hallelujah. At the end, however, no, what we do in there, yes, yeah, I mean, we all, yeah, a Bible or a Bible this year. Regardless of baby, will be, no, just, approach the studies with open, mind and open hearts. Now, Shamayama Oracle, Ewoho, will be no okay with now some judges for yourself. The man out saying, Ewoho. I mean, it's good to disagree with that. That is okay with me. But I to disagree with insults, and accusation, aspersions, on an MP, Ewoho. All right. That's about your brother Kufurudia Church of Christ, wherever you are. You have to inside the floor, wherever. And you bush the fair dama Bible no otin ewo ho na another they be a can be gidi na nso gidi but I believe they be the other way around so obey dwuma ewo ho na mankoten na mo ha from Onia Solomon I mean about come home now you journey through this discussion until somewhere 7 plus BB then we draw the curtain down on this discussion and I don't want this broadcast. Anyway, let's get on the way. Yeah, you want to see the be our first Thessalonians chapter number 4. Or one text verse 13 to verse 18. Or one text be I be brain who doing on a rapture. Rapture be I mean Yankofan Buffet and Pifia Sassi does an alcohol. Or wishing she may have no shimber. Ebinom so or appeal to this text now also or a year to our future coming of the Lord. In fact, you cannot talk about second coming of Christ without appealing to this text among many other New Testament passages. And saying here, I believe the central theme, I mean, when it comes to eschatology, urban area and some na here theme no ahana yaba fa yedifi ewa ha. So no so ha dishia and a year shi ewa ha. I believe the church or to ananini te na mo kan ebi wo ho na say ente ya post no wo hene Facebook channel no another YouTube channel no all hope fulfilled nti ekọ so at least e benya bi da ahwe hene videos no wo ho just in case that anchi han live da mo na otin e wo ho. All right, nti da ma ye ka no text no bit of mechano is not on your rapture text on your myth and rapture text actually Christ or banawa baby shia ne ahotwefo e wo konkrom bia o come first Thessalonians chapter number 4 ne hinara ye not of boyen or Christ or ba na wa baby shia ahotewefo ewo konkrom bia ho. That is all about my First Thessalonians chapter number 4. But yeah, other related team bi so ho. Yama bi so ka ho. Yawo our team so dam text no kasa fa our ho. Dam last week me church no. So Christ number today bi only the time wo be na ye frusia no so obudru ewo ho. Enti Matthew chapter number 25 verse 1 to 13 I believe or yeah our Christ or Bible word na ye for no. Now that is second coming of Christ. In fact, entry anka Christ in bayo today being only ye our no swim few. The time of Ebra Christ open about today being Ebra our no so obabam ewo ho. Now I show there man comes for can I see can be in comes for naka there. Ebra oba say Jerusalem ye Ebra Christ na ifrusiano obaba in Isaiah chapter number 25 verse 1 to 6. And to say Eka BB war Matthew chapter number 24. Remember Matthew chapter number 25. I remember there, ne source text, or Isaiah chapter 25, verse 1 to 6, which connects the fall of the temple to the time of the consummation of the messianic wedding. Time of Jerusalem, and only time of Christ now, or also, or boom, so you cannot intimate call around it. And in any case, Christ crown now, or Israel for one exclusive promise. In Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31 to 34, Jeremiah Karoye Yankupon Israel football choir for our to the Moyon call Sinai, and so about Pampo never think of messianic wedding banquet now. Think of it there or Israel for one exclusive promise, and that wedding also in connection with the fall of Jerusalem. In Revelation chapter number 20, Revelation chapter number 17 and verse 17 and 18, there. Chapter 17 or identify damn great city in there or your old covenant Jerusalem. Chapter 18 or a fall of the temple and Jerusalem. So chapter 19 in connection with the fall of the temple is the time of the wedding. Why bro kind of verse 7 to 9 there. In Sri Lanka we invite you who will go and ifrushia national. Nti huna ifo no obey e wabra wa say Jerusalem. Nti ya what that theme no so e First Thessalonians chapter number 4. Nti as well and what the gathering of the lost people, it's also about resurrection. Nti say e one so it means the resurrect owunya no so what the main text no mu e wo ho because ebra Christ baba no yin ebra Abraham, Isaac, Jacob ubinya hu na fi paradise na wo ho aba kingdom no mu for the wedding. But ebra Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and then come shafu hina ubinya hu mama hu ubinya hu na fi paradise wo ho aba hinzin mani ebra wo be say Jerusalem. Jesus na nka sanu asama okay ore na musume kabi e Matthew chapter 8 verse 11 and verse 12. Jesus no kana asama ho nta abia hwehwe different resurrection bi do no de menyu nya asam na mom say ka Bible me resurrection owunya na da no Jesus na nka kire hina abira Jesus so see, I Adam Jesus now no say, and you biaro no any other person than the Jesus now or Kasai Ewo Luke chapter number 13 verse 26 to 29 and Matthew chapter 8 verse 11 and verse so that was the time of resurrection. Now Paul that mama First Thessalonians chapter number 4 no our winyan woman no Paul said the source text for First Thessalonians chapter number 4 no on Matthew chapter number 16 and Matthew chapter number 24. Both texts in your care in 70 AD. I mean, Bible non contradicting who was let the Bible interpret itself. I mean, we cannot talk about First Thessalonians chapter number 4 without talking about resurrection. But problem in there, imperative physical resurrection, then cable one day. And Debbie when why the skeleton beats Michael Jackson trailer and when I'm above for Kakakana was who to throw in the room and walk with Christ. See. So long as a young woman is the resurrection on bay. Now, I don't believe in physical resurrection. I believe in spiritual resurrection. Why? Because Christ and Orbano to meet with the saints. Right? Orban will be meet with the saints, But I hints no but and so therefore who physical Christ or bana hinzimu and I say who munyan so or ye physical because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob wunya ho jwa ba hinza won fe that means resurrection so spiritual. What's a kingdom? No kingdom I would do who see that is my position and that is my scripture justification for spiritual resurrection and the spiritual coming of the Lord. Christ number no home. Unya no so home. For those of us be physical resurrection no Abraham na Isaac Jacob who binya hu efi paradise wo don aba hin Bible no say on ye bra was say Jerusalem. Jesus say on ye bra obese Jerusalem. And this is what are you looking for? About the biom na hwehwe. What mahina bra time frame adamo wunya na baba. Time frame a wo be hye na ben no. Enti wo hin the biom na hwehwe e wo ho. Enti yana bi after and no yambo next week e be hwehwe the meeting in the air. Waka obi hiem wo inframama na ase kire den. If so we be shan to bent to na adi here. E the meaning of the many here. So that I mean we just don't for Bible no First Thessalonians na yen kan keke na yen well look this is you literalize BBR it doesn't work that way. All right. And if you the team senior come but team kasa for kasa war the may First Thessalonians chapter number 4 no verse 13 to 18 Christ or ba only son from there so for pain there oya nyame no baby shia no nkofo ewo koko no do ewo ho. That is the cosmic mountain. That kind of cosmic, temple mountain is the what we call the temple typology, and in this case, the people are able to enter into the same cloud space. Them are Moses, the same cloud space. Another konkrom beho. Them are Moses. Onya kwenja no kokishia yankopon ewo Sinai bepono dono in Old Testament, which is typical another typological, point of view. So I can't. Temple typology. Those of us are using the I sorry down when you make a crown. I believe that American when you what some American I say or your Christ will be share na man for now sorry day muho. And proud to before 70 AD no ma apostles in a way here na war boy in pano wa I na kingdom no mu na hindi no mu. And in view of the coming of the Lord to dwell among them. Them not know other warrior until they were no word God one who I know in view of the coming of the Lord. But today, Christ dwell with among us. He reigns with us and he does everything with us. In fact, when you're in heaven, according to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 5 and verse 6, you have been raised up to sit with the Lord in heaven. Spiritually, that's the essence of the kingdom, and that's the advantage that Christopher in there. You Christ and it's not heaven. That is how you have to view it. You will concrom be a ho, the channel ho. It's in ho when we talk about the theme, our First Thessalonians chapter number 4. No, so that is why you read, I can crater now. First Thessalonians 4 now. Okay, they will meet in the air. No, see, you can some kakrafa no so home. Echi yahwe yama kakra bi so ayaka kan quick review bi mayaka kano those days there you share the time I was chro krater no only time ana ohini bia another so ohini poni bia wo fan Claudio Caesar ana odi ade ewo Rome oyambrado ewo Rome ewo reign between AD 41 to AD 54. Okay, so we are looking at the events that occurred during this time. And see, I can First Thessalonians chapter number 4. Man can there or a crowd tabian and answer what show you. Looking at 2,000 years, another almost 2,000 years. On your bow, that time that Ghana for one founding as a nation, and then you come to be over in Ghana. That was the time I watched Democrat and whether come out, so I know what that time, See, said I'm out, no, or you were Claudio Caesar, so your Roman Empire, no. Wherefore we break out into European Union and no one can honti and you so wanti that may obi ye that you book now the many men hinara no the audience ni hinara ya je ho back home so that say ehun o se da ho say kan mo se da ho enyinum na that ye ho na wa kasafa won ho no. All right, Claudio Caesar no at the time, Act chapter 11, I believe verse 28, na Act chapter 17, verse 7, no Act chapter number 18, I believe some of our Kenny no father me Claudio another it was a time at Claudio Caesar no young brother ever room no and that was pam Jew flee had a one who no Claudio Caesar and no who na words in some hun ever room no, so he was there at the time. So the context and the historical time frame of the book also about book about some and ne context ni hina ya can also the dem coffee hina ya de keka ka ho so that oboboa him ye hu pronoun bi kada hon you we our yours na adza ye ho ahona o refer ho to na in the 2024 yamaka na ye ho yamfa nhyem ewo ho nti dem a ye ka no ye sane ye bohwe bibi wo 2 Thessalonians chapter number 2 after verse 4 now it was the time what's the man of son no son of prediction no and not na Jerusalem also down mu na yankopon no be yo today bi ni Christ no be yo today bi ni ya bra oba said the man of sin na not Jerusalem temple no mu na say ya wo yetena ha na e kada saade no mbe ya meaning that brebe this is Jerusalem temple na ro yin ho biem Jerusalem temple bubu since obubu na AD 70 no Bible no class won't see biem it will never be rebuilt. Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 16 17 and I believe Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 16 17 and Isaiah chapter 24 na say Jerusalem temple no won't see biem. And what but at the time now Christ no be out today be any bra dan papa na of man of sin pause there and not Jerusalem or kon be wa bra cho democrat no only number no urban wa baby dan papa din efi ho. And to say kra adena me meaning there who will be the man of sin? I know when you could Pope nature, Pope is not a man of sin, and also enter Jerusalem, concom be a hoda. Vatican minimarages our friend concom according to Catholic doctrine, down minim, ebi or Saddam Don or Yan what in the mum, Bible concom be an unknowing who beam. This year no about spiritual on a yank upon a kingdom no in the most holy place won't feel when you letra. One was I see the beam waha because Yanko was on Tina a concom be a audience of this beam. And to them, my Bible me don't wait for. And to the mean panopause and not now at the time of which are the mean panel and no your poop. And at that time, Catholic Church in Crombe, Paul Nimas, our sovereign Catholic Church, and no him poop biara. And to say bia and to Bible no do baby now what but men fank out shia, opinion bia, opinion or the baby origin or no my may on your feeling, wow, no, this yam, because this man of sin was Eliza Ben Simon. I believe he was the one because he was the one on no take over the temple after they were defeated Roman one small fighting before AD 66 now Konankasa Obemono. All right. I say the man not saying what's one sin beam about the time of Paul Cassano, not the coffee what's na ho at the time. See Claudius Caesar and so on and so forth. Down here now on TV just don't interject into from Hong Kong krate no mu na nkada or yami masam another or your bibi them because you came in late what I you at the time. We are talking about book we are all for that number of years. So you just don't insert yourself into that historical context because you were not there at the time. Timra Paul Kade ahina yetase na yebe remain we who are alive and remain no or yeah Paul no in a Thessalonica for another Thessalonica for no on a Paul we who are alive and remain on yawo but I dey the monk of if you a band dan e Paul na Thessalonica for if you na do hu de be shame just because they are Christian in na Christian what try more Paul what try na Christian or the more no or try come out so no at the time what kwa hu ye hiem Claudius Caesar no nyina wo homa what twe hu na ade wodum be je mpanyimfu bi hu na nyim e wa Acts chapter number 17 wodi wugudi akwhwe do 200 da wo church nyama basa ma wo kodam ahu ye hiem dam nkofo na no da na bi dam nkofo ifi ona we who are alive and remain and I don't have a ho. That is the problem. We don't audience relevance and find it. But in the year for Bible, ya can I watch him as if no ya be or ba but in Yadamana or thing, it doesn't just work that way. And see, more word or Christ or bane and him no baby shia now what to for. In Matthew chapter number 16, verse 27-28, also Christ was the name or the name Yamra now for Baba, no baby biara cow. If you also no quarrel so the Ahuna Wajine Hey, that is reference to Ahuna war in the first century because we've never stood in the Lord's presence before. Yenjina Yankupo name the Christ name that. But Ahuna no Wajino at the time also won't be Kawushe, Todo Buhu, the water bana him or bana him. There. Matthew chapter number 16, Matthew chapter number 24, or a source text for 1 Thessalonians chapter number 4. Into Matthew 16, Matthew 24, no, or AD 70, then definitely 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 no so or AD 70 because you involve Yankopana another Christ or bana him no wa baby shia na manfo ewo ho enti Christ is ran ho ogine wo mu bi nka wo hwe till da maba wo so so mai na ho ogine nyina ho no wo hen na do ho akahye wo so Christ ngbe hu nda ene ogine wo yim kra bisire hu do onini But those people no they know where yanko fa na wo ho. At the time Jesus wakada minsami hara ewo ho. Echi share the descent of the Lord na nkasa also Christ verse 16 no also obi send form odine na nyam odi be send form na odina abofo na that's the time of judgment. And I don't know how Christ or ba or the tum ka say onam siwusum or the trobento na abofo or the Matthew chapter 24 Matthew chapter 16 or you different from our second coming of Christ. Now I have people telling me that they are different from First Thessalonians chapter number 4. You know why? Because Bebrenara and hence I say First Thessalonians chapter number 4 no on the shadow and demon. So we soon see the connection. Yehuan Yankofa or the Matthew chapter 24, Matthew chapter 16, and First Thessalonians chapter number 4. And in other case, that McCann who will be, Yoko chapter 2 numpa, who will be the this man of sin and so on and so forth. And why is that Jerusalem temple today? I want to it is I know that on I compare them to three taxi national yard crana and it's edges that Matthew 24, Matthew 16, 24 and 16 wabema on the First Thessalonians chapter 4 no so also edges the wabem because pause there. We who are alive and remain, Oka Church Thessalonica for Ahina, Oba kinda Yabatna settled Dobabano. And now, out 2024, ever for Bible, ya, them pawn of Thessalonica Furina, Sinchan, Naz our software, as our and a woe a while somebody at home by Shaho. Now, Damadi, you see a Bible, Dama, how would you then, advance, advance or Bible? No, you understand? It just doesn't work that way. Also, when I watch I don't come on now, I secondary application or down fulfillment, That's how we study the scriptures. All right. Actually, them can the descent of the Lord Christ Orabano, the man authentic. So Christ only sana. Ordinary of you sana. What did the day or with the shout na such then elho, the make us na such then elho. It's the BI may kind there say Yane yin some addition also the onye Paul onye a shiafono another apostles no Jesus wanted to know on your honey yakor elho. So back here Jesus cast and be Matthew chapter number 5. Verse 17 and verse 18. There, Theodore shown us as he obutwemezi and Brancatigate another, 1 jot or 1 tittle of the law will by no means pass until then in Narobe then Obo fulfilled. Until when you may be in Matthew chapter number 5, verse 17 and verse 18. Also there, Theodore shown us as he butwem heaven and earth obutwem, and now all things fulfilled. So then in Narobe, just also as in Trima. All things fulfilled no so then ombe. And to him would be a try to have or soon as no one ye literalize no. Now you're making no be a physical, you're making something physical, as far as the universe is concerned. And then also there said I'm not that no also there Moses Nembrano or ye Jumande. Meaning there be no was there where Moses no sum fubi okitekita Judaism maybe, but I tell you it doesn't work. Now, where do you have the Jerusalem temple? What are you talking about Judaism? Another humidity, but your Bible humidity in America, and yet Ghana, Ghana BTB honor the meaning is out of the I don't know it, but I'm a Bible in America. My uncle Pantimo Moses and Israel for no on in America don't know you what. And Tabia said there was some form of babies on the day or some, but my uncle Panaka said to Moses in the day, oh no, you hope the membrane here, wait him or shine a bread, the membrano, and that the man Moses in Yamani Hinarano, Judaism, the man, and Bokum Yaman, Buchum, also on a door soon as I saw bed. Obuchum, Yam would be a edges there, Ebia, or soon as I saw one only may meaning Dorsadam Brano, or ye Juma Ewoho. Until there or sorry university yehuni wabashow no crowd but or impossible so wabashow university nowhere in the Bible what kind of wabashow no able to read Psalm 89 verse 34 verse 35 and Psalm 72 also Psalm 76 78 verse 69 and Genesis chapter number 8 Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 4 also there, I want to Suboko, I want to Ado Baba, but Asasi the Otimwada. Now you also looking for the time Asasi Otimwada no, Wabase no. Look at that. I just Asasi Otimwada, I will boo, where Wumba boo, and now no Gagano boo, but Asasi the younger ones Otimwada. And to make no mistake, Nankarabia, I mean, we are going to have this world destroyed. No, that is not Bible teachings. But this is what the man watch church or we have seen the say. In the Mabara Makara, and what been pay, and as we are not say with him. Now, for okay, we ask Bessaya, and we could quote Second Peter 3, also one cross or bubble, and about it is an element in the about that, and why a case you hold. It is element in only element of the periodic table. Now, look at that. It's John catch the element, no, or element of periodic table. Why be Peter no him often cobalt, or him often boron, or him often molybdenum. So how do you then associate elements no to element of the periodic table? You see, that is how sometimes it's desperation. And no man can make them connection, no, but it doesn't work that way. See, also as Paul said in the first century, it was already being shaken. Hebrew chapter number 20, Hebrew chapter number 12, verse I believe 25 to 29 whereby okay we Yankopon cry about it or you jump from our consuming fire. So the heaven and the earth our kind was already shaking. But Jew fumu Hebrew fumu no come also na basically it was their temple. Now there be a be afa them heaven and earth them temple typology you see all that makada senke yim bibi kakra for temple typology ho anka yet there also na asase a ye be careful kakra. I mean you be taking your time na ya hwehwem ye because Jew fu no ahon no wan adwe na wan ta ase different from andan ye hu no nta ahon no ekra wan so na asase bi bobobo wa na Peter na letter ochro koma Jew fu wan cho amagana fu. Understand me, he wrote a letter straightly to the Jews in diaspora. First Peter 1:1. And I want to say, Damaka say, and I what I say, ho. Now he so he dear. I know why bibi kakra oh. All right. And say, you share them information in. See, young quadra call him kakra ho. The beginning, you share the main addition. I see the question bibi our Genesis chapter number 11. Bra Tower of Babel no where is Yankopon kade let us go down. Ewa Yankopon the rest of the Godheads also let us go down. So in other words, let us descend. Woma yanko another woman yen from. So we have a precedent for this language in the New Testament. Christ our obi son. Ordinary name nyam son no ya one president our Bible no. Yeah, the first time ye hu Bible no on First Thessalonians chapter number 4 no they be. Enjoy all the time in the Makade. Yente the language of the prophets in us in on about guiding him. War upon Fufu Madisian and Entase home. I will haunt you when baby dam I will hold. And if you so, I will show baby Kakra. I will Exodus chapter number 24 and Exodus chapter number 19. See, well, Exodus chapter number 19, it starts with reference to the priesthood or ne Shaseno or the Asofudi and on the chassis Exodus chapter 19 verse 4 and verse 5 in I had the Yeshia kakra recently last week and last 2 years and ya da yebesan ya can be so the man because they needed someone to represent them at the tabernacle of meeting another at the temple no when here ibia no obi gina hwenenyim them Moses and oye no verse 9 Exodus chapter number 19 Exodus woman no iti do nkron nchichema oye apono no ehwa ma okan na oh what is it me bibi kakra ho well Exodus chapter number 19 no if I know akashe well, Exodus chapter number 19 no verse 9 now also there and the Lord said to Moses, behold, I come to you in the thick cloud that the people may hear when I speak with you and believe you forever. So Moses told the words of the Lord to the people and say, Yankopon catch Moses there, I will come to you. And say this is not the first time my Yankopon will come to him and I will be in Poho. Because I know I'll catch on that I will come to you. And say na me yo bakasa I mean nko Israel mba no wa te na wa jiwo edi ewo ho. Enti nkofo no Moses so obobo ho nkofo no hona no na oto won ho consecrate ho na fi but BBC ewo ho osi Yankopon baba de oba Mount Sinai do in a thick cloud ewa I can First Thessalonians chapter number 4 now or your Christ or onam siwusu more than or ba ewo ho in a thick clouds, and that is a cosmic, my friend, a cosmic temple, no. And see, Sinai at the time, no, no, Yankupon, no, Koko or any cosmic temple at another temple mountain, Ewoho, and Nkofono, Nkofono, be Jina Kokono, Nasi, Ewoho. This is a cosmic temple, no, be Jina Koko, Nasi, Ewoho. Now, Moses oil then awful kokono or you be no more on full kokono tea walk crying walk do baby no Moses catch on one channel ha na feel more quiet upon the presence in the cloud more I am going into the clouds I know what Yankupon name ewo I am oko or shen Swiss no mu ewo Yankupon the presence ewo konkrom bia and see elna say Jerusalem I saw down no say so for paying rua konkrom bia during the feast of atonement nkofo no kakra na what consecrate what one ho no what ba obigina outer court no obigina so down echi nje wan so for paying na ngotin wa shen konkrom bia ho na konkrom go no so duru ho a ebo na wusu akumo wo inside ho wo konkrom bia ho nti wusu no mu no na Yakobo ebo na otena ne egua no do ewo mercy seat no cherubim no apamada ka no so ebo na ho ti ebo no wa akumo de me abere no impa no so we fi hu name no kọ nyamim ewo ho enti ebo na nkofo no wagina outer court wagina pado ho ibu sa akọ adwe won beteto me hu won krampo ibu enti ebo no wagina hotel there so for paying no be fi ho wide then waba de me na otin ewo ho enti that is the temple typology or things about the temple. I say Moses so emira of koko na ho wagina ifom wano na wagina outer court or yibinom so ko kuku ni finfin where konkrom bia ansa na nkotin all shan nsuwisu no koko no so ofan konkrom bia da madin ofan temple mountain no another cosmic temple no the cosmic temple da ma picture no da ma na otin ewo ho. I say verse 11 or so or can be ewo no so you can the last also then let the people let them be ready for the third day. For the third day, the Lord will come down upon Sinai in the sight of all the people. So yeah, God will come down. You see, this is the descent of the Lord. The Lord will come down. But I be so on there. As a physical man, also what thick clouds him. Excuse me. Sometimes there's no water the way if you to me a tomb, no be said to me as you went to Buhuna. That is the presence of the Lord. It doesn't come with observation. It doesn't come with ocular visibility. And for when one fail hunu, and what body comes through a sign. And what Jew for the main what I saw. The temple typology, the coming of the Lord, the cosmic temple, nara. And Zimbra, Jesus kade all by Matthew chapter 24. No, also there, man won't bend one sentence because when you wasn't sentence, you know what the there. Waba. As it's all about physical God, other physical Christ, and God wants to overcome my hidden sanctuary. The sanctuary was there then was a woman. But even that sign was given to the 12. On among them and sent true signs and sent true signs and sanctuary, and no doing the Christ why then Waba in that cloud coming, no, Almighty chapter number 24. And so about the me in soon kebi no mu if you're catch on there, I mean I cannot verse 14 the kono also maybe anya then maybe am fa no sem fe nso kuku no mu abadensra no sen na yankopon ne presence another yankopon abakokondo o sen no yabade wa be yakoko konkron enti Moses pe no otum wura wo ma no kwando o chon wura nsuwisi no mu enti mira Moses owura nsuwisi no mu no owura cloud enkofo na ehu ni biom he was out of their sight enti azumi na Moses or the nsuwisi no na odi san kan gofo no obonhu na. That is the essence of first Act chapter number 1, 9 to 11. Also that the media says when me, he will come in like manner. But something happened. Emra won that occasions we sunumu. Emra occasions we sunumu. He was out of their sight when be him. And my other Revelation 1, 7, Matthew chapter 24, no, First Thessalonians chapter 4, no. Also he also about the wusu and not the baba. Neighbor who runs wusum we not about this wusum the baba on sit down dano ye bohun ye the with buhun or shaklaus in see how you see how people reason and what Jesus no on onya hunam na emoje o aye sunsum John chapter number 4 also aye sunsum or the ne hunam obaba fa akwa na tebia e Philippians chapter 2 verse 5 e dere kwa no e no hu no ye yimpa na odere hunam de bobo afar na ɔde mogya ndi kɔnkɔnkɔnkɔn bia hɔ ɛwɔ Hebrew chapter 9 verse 24 de kɔ no na ɔde ka pata hɛn bɔ no de ma hɛn enti dam honam kame no ɔno wa bebu wie because na man na Jewfo wɔ no na Yankopɔn on jimtum ɛwɔ Matthew chapter number 10 verse 8 to 10 enti ɔse honam esiesie da amam enti wa bebu wie dam honam mu afarebɔ na adin we wie enti achi ɔreba as God in the spirit apart from sin for salvation. Enti ɔreba na ɔmbɛda yimpa biem ɔreba da ɔyɛ nyame so wofɛn wɔn fɛn hun ɔba ɔdam take clouds na ɔde ba asema yɛre kan ɔde take clouds wusiw na ɔde ba ba wofɛn wɔn fɛn hun no but our ɛtra na ɛhwehwɛ ɔbaba as a physical man. It means that a day of atonement, another work of atonement, work of a high priest, so for paina or your bonon patazze additional, there, also the in education, also you understand the two. Under the old covenant, on so for pain, also if you conquer or but the impa or beyimpum. Now I feel so no combium, but Christ knows all young once and for all. Into all but then yame whom on but the impa who name. But I don't catch your win and that Musumiji, never must have the peer what the war no, what the bone. But remember that Banoban on them is Wusum nor a bar. Christ so when Bra, Yankupon a bar, it's son I do not know or what take clouds, one thing will win. Moses no so I'm very well win. This is how I yet say, clouds come and no now say, ever. By the way, Yanko Yenime, and see Damana identity, ever so. I know just as Moses in Brown County and Coupon were burning bush were also the Yumpa one baby or holy grounds. And see, yeah, what the Lord descend upon it because it was a holy mountain, and I mean that is why even in the Bible, normally a kingdom what portray a mountain of God, because mountain at the time what about a holy mountain? I believe Isaiah chapter number 2 or Kabibi Dam. Yankupon fie I mean well so na mo kwa Yankupon kokko ho Yankupon fie house of God a kingdom of God and it's a temple. That is why it is called mountain. And Genesis krano, even in Genesis chapter number 1 and 2 and 3 krano, there's temple terminology because Adam and only be to me jina o jado so for pain where Yankupon enyim so ba o descend no ba garden no well, name the sofa paint one crano and a cosmic temple in the Garden of Eden, the minority ever. But my yerka my ya can be bria. I believe down here I will follow here no when you must sama yerka ever. But edu verse 13 now, or can't send be ever. Exodus chapter 19 verse 13 also there. And a hand shall not touch him, but shall surely be stoned and shot with an arrow. Whether man or beast, it shall not live. When the trumpet sounds long, they shall come near the mountain. So in 1 Thessalonians chapter number 4, there's a sounding of trumpet. Sound what kind of about to tribento or a gathering of boy and coupon and domano to that temple meeting, to that tabernacle of meeting. The Bishop Numbers chapter number 10, verse 1 to 5. But you do, damn here lesson I watch them trumpet I bent to tribento now in here better say a year hunty who there elements no war 1 Thessalonians chapter number 4 no it be so and or war a high because there's what sounding of of trumpet I mean, why do you think that in 1 Thessalonians chapter number 4 no there is a sounding of trumpet? Because they because and what's away from where then what a fool Yankopon no kokono no at the sounding of the trumpet. And in Exodus Exodus chapter 19 what are ben pen and kwafo started no baby shia one Yankopon. That is the idea. Orbana, I mean, to dwell among them. Yankopon in the temple, in the tabernacle, and he will dwell among them. That is Revelation chapter 21, verse 3. The tabernacle of God is among men, and he will dwell among us. That is the goal of New Testament eschatology. Or Yankopon always send now about dwell with us through the kingdom. But kingdom no very one find them who fail who. It's not about that physical man coming in physical clouds. Oh, that's a clouds. I know that Matasha be on them or to clouds be demolished and yes, them journey to the west. No, in a thick cloud, so you cannot see someone through on a transparent cloud. Oh, in a thick cloud, which you can be my wire than one who know I will hold. See, that may kind of say, so I mean the sound of the trumpet was loud. Ekan verse 17 14 to 17 also abeno or yeah kase with a shout. I mean the man of First Thessalonians chapter number 4 with a shout, voice of archangel and trumpet of God. And this is the sent terminology of God's presence in his tabernacle. And this is that washing to tribento. Now why the bofu pain and dekasa, you know, just terminology. And or represent Yankupone presence, another or Yankupone ne presence. I want a sorry I want a tabernacle. That is the meeting. And the First Thessalonians chapter number 4, no, it's just like Matthew chapter 16, verse 27-28. Or a Christ or a bar, or number for whatever what they announce ne presence in the tabernacle. But this time around, no, or inviting or invitation, or inviting a Shiambran and Chow Krom Biaho. Moses in it and on the one you born influence when two Kwafuna were outer court in Obedina outer court in when two more for paying or when two man for one uncle because mono Babomo Gentu born if you are cry. By Christ in it in way if you are cry and so on another invitation or a reception into the most holy place or inviting the Chiambran and Chow Krom Biaho on Wababa Yakwan or Damahina Duque Jenim. Amia kwano kwana nkobi ankweja nso so na modo but aba kwana ya father ya call a true Christ na sacrifice na oye no ni moje no ho egu no na ode ma hene ma ode to ode ma man hwe call konkrom bie ho in Hebrew chapter number 10 verse 19 and verse 20. And some bana makada ya wo ho a ebi sire them because of the must heaven in you is it as American cry I am the entire na eso ni baby na atu baby. Man can heaven you. I'm telling you that it's a reality. As one American, who nature no, if you name the team, if you won't them identity. As one American, but whilst we are alive, we are in the most holy place. Are we not there? Are you wiser than the Bible? Bible don't care true Christ sacrifices, You will come be a while. Is that not there? Also Christ not but them Hebrew chapter number 6, verse 19 and verse 20. Also Christ wa bobo dam kwanda to ama me ya shan yankopon anyim konkrom bia ho na magabi me to choda ye wo most holy place wa as the hey am me se demi and I also the heaven also is it I was sometimes oye kana una no name speak kasa no reka no ye kan temple ho asama or ye mre yimdinu sha entina what should be an work no. Meanwhile, more can rambo what they even accuse me of no crap no menkadam ewo ho. But anyway, and see, I mean yakana yebotum yakan na yehu there the mena yamana ten ewo ho in verse 7. Also Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet with God. Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet with God. And Moses saw them call for no bay. Umbe oshan to tribento no. That one be no mishia wana. Meshia yankopon. In First Thessalonians chapter number 4, also they will cut up to meet. And one of those you see the word opontesis. Opontesis in chere. Elkwekishie penyin ba wanchan. Nelkwekishie na enyina ba wufie. But ahano or you see sunatesis. Just one or similar. Or so chere or a meeting. I meet be na in call baby and also fear ba but you see meeting and then you see opontesis and say so you have time to yabo cover no yabo call them opontesis no muye wanti we meeting yankopon I know we meet Christ na what na ba kingdom no mu da na adena one last leg of ni journey no ba na last ni destination ya kingdom no mu who bi wa wonka wo hwe te do bu na Christ wa ba na ahinzi mti oro ba no what to bent na wudiri hia no kwan na what na ba kingdom no mu na wabo ye na batina da ana da mana ade no oten ewo ho ti ye hye ho no so ewo ho anti I mean people no they when two da America no when two one ben when so kuku be person na mu embre yankopon ba do no because da America no say Israel no when you born in fi ho a born na wa ba barrier ho when you born in fi ho a won tum wonko konkrom bia ho sanya da madan ka won hinanka Moses otumi won kro ho ba bi go wona won yi won bon wa toni for no won tum wa de no won ko bon ba ye barrier de ma ho nti second Romans chapter number 5 verse 8 and 9 now also the or can't same be ho. I mean, I can a boon a one, Yankupon who ya mobile and very yards born yafuno, not the Christ bay, and the Christ are being here justifier. And time Christopher, the Christ are being here, what being here justifier, Yadro, Yadro, Concrom, be a ho. Damana alternating. Unlike Moses, now when you may a one more genuine to man justify one. Reason why also walk concrom be or by him did what's your way Yankupon another Christ while justifying him and make you concrom be a home. Damanoti. Eti Damana Yamatin ewo ho when 2 1 shan concrom be a ho on boninti when 2 1 call Yankupon anymore and Swiss unumu on boninti no mum ahenede yenya. Now ade closer no man to me pantum ko Yankopon anyim no wo Hebrew chapter number 9 verse 8 and 5 on Jerusalem temple no. It's people sometimes we overlook the Jerusalem temple yen hu ne significant yen ada no ye impantum ko Yankopon anyim hinara impantum ko heaven hinara no na o san o Jerusalem temple ninza Jerusalem temple no ojira oda ebon ojira oda san into when you born if impantum ngwe nro ho. I mean, just read it. Hebrew chapter number 9, verse 8 and verse 9. Son, I didn't say impen to munko heaven. Yen to me and shall come be a one on your day. Jerusalem temple and was went. And so just imagine as a way you temple if you are. Jerusalem temple will be if you are about them no be see. Impen to make you call. Why shall come be a ho. Enter Christ number not today be no. Obey at the time of Wobu Jerusalem temple if you are no. I mean, people were too call. Yankopon and Chan kingdom no mu. E wo konkrom bia ho. Ati asama ye kan verse 18 so oka bibi e wo ho. Verse 18 is there now. Also now Mount Sinai was completely in smoke. Excuse me. Sinai be pono do no. Na wuso a sheduke bi. Because the Lord descended upon it in fire. Osana Yankupon san before Sinai do will dim. Its smoke ascended like a smoke of a furnace, and the whole mountain quaked greatly. Right? So we have the Lord Yawakasabi Ewo and see in Hebrew chapter number I believe verse 6 and verse 20 no. Aya Bible no or encourage Christopher no there. We make sure that washan konkrom bia ho ewo ho. But there was this appearance of the Lord in flaming fire, another in fire. And see Yankupon baby ane tabernacle presence, another sorry son ne ahindima or the ne attended adore come more beni yoja. Right? And see fire ni drum and they may or share there the Lord another divinity whom Yankupon aba ne ahindim ewo ho. And also Yankupon descended on Sinai in fire. In 2 Thessalonians chapter number 1, Paul calls him be there, or Tino Yankupon and him there, or de ahunye here the butia, and when I will hear Yan Thessalonica free, or the butia on a cow. Now, she actually Acts chapter number 17, no, a Jew for no will hear here Thessalonica for no. The monk of for no, Paul there, or Tino Yankupon and him there, or down when you hear the butia on a cow. But Obaba no abe butia on cow in vengeance, in flaming fire. In 1 and 2 Thessalonians chapter number 1 verse 8, Eko kanka ndamadia identity and see quickly no you cut part big wuni ekujina verse 8 no do. And as now Bible do you should go no one jebim and other ba. But it was that the Lord descended on Sinai in fire. And the Lord will come and destroy those who persecuted the church at Thessalonica in flaming fire. So we see the same or the same book, the same book of Thessalonians, right? Coming of the Lord, Yankupon borrow today being our 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 no, or different from number or today being our 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 and the 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, or the same. And if 2 Thessalonians chapter number 1, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 no, and be no Arabani ye, and be all be dead Jew for that. And why do you dissociate that coming no from 1 Thessalonians chapter number 4? Why, bra, 1 Thessalonians chapter number 2, no, verse 13 to 16, no, Paul can share there. Christ and man or ban or bebuchia one now wokum Christ cow. No one here one apostle no. The monk of for now what did the mujumano. I want to Yankupo bebuchia one cow. Never chapter 3, chapter 4 now. said, hey, honor than or different honor than action in the now chapter 2, First Thessalonians chapter 2, 13, 16. Honor the engine more. But then also a second coming of Christ. And all Christ in the many be. Another in one book near what 3 second comings no womb. About one the engine more Thessalonians 4 and I catch them all. Whilst I know no source text in the year Matthew chapter number 24 and Matthew chapter number 16. Our K and 70 AD. And to them not saying, so the Lord descend or better about it, obey in flaming fire. So that is the context of Second Thessalonians chapter number 1 verse 8. Because all higher than all was the Lord descended upon it. And so quickly, share Bibi Kakra so ewo. All right. So yaba share, yaba share chapter 24 no so Exodus chapter 24 no so yaba share ewo. Rabbi yehuni there was the Moses or then okoko share kukunumu okoko share dambi ponumu no in verse 14 no Exodus chapter 24 verse 14 no so you share biblical cross there. And Moses said to the elders, wait here for us until we come back to you. Indeed, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man has difficulty, let him come to them. And say, what started war for Kokono, war for Sinai no, or catch a beam the wire then one can him. Until verse 15 was then Moses went up into the mountain and a cloud covered the mountain. And the Moses okay share or shall show one and then is whistle no about take one about cover Sinai about cover. At that time he was in the